is being released through Disney Plus. Obviously, originally it was going to be released, I believe, what was it, last month maybe, or 2 months ago it was supposed to be released in theaters?
Yeah, I would say even like the beginning of the summer movie season, which would have been like May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that one was going to be released, and then it just, obviously it didn't happen because of the coronavirus. All theaters closed. All theaters are opening. I think AMC is doing like 15 cent tickets. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, that's what I've heard. But anyways, so Disney Plus is releasing it. Disney Plus Premium. I mentioned when we were, setting up this podcast, when Zino and I were going through a rundown, I guess pre-production of the episode. I mentioned that I have the sneaking feeling that Disney Plus was gonna do a Disney Plus Premium from the get-go. Like they might have been thinking about how to do it, right? Because obviously, $5.99 to give us all these movies and all these shows, even though Disney can afford it. They're not like Netflix working on a deficit, because I think Netflix has been in the red.
I mean, I don't doubt it when they're giving money to the likes of, wait, is Unhinged on Netflix, the Russell Crowe movie?
Unhinged? I don't remember.
Well, I don't. Well, anyway, they're giving. Oh, okay, I know one. They're giving money to the likes of like Terry Crews to make that John Henry or whatever that dumpster fire was called. Of course, they're in the red.
Oh. I wonder if Ludacris felt cool with the jaw. If you haven't watched John Henry, don't. But if you do, let us know in the comment section what you think about.
Look, shout out to Ludacris, Atlanta and all that. That movie was trash.
It was. And you know what's funny is I kind of felt like Terry Crews was actually trying. I kind of had the feeling Terry Crews seemed like he was trying.
That makes it worse.
So anyways, back on topic. So Mulan is being released through Disney Plus. So the main thing that we wanted to talk about is what is coronavirus's impact on the movie industry, and maybe even the entire entertainment industry as a whole.
Yeah. I just want to chime in real quick before we get into Corona and the entertainment industry as a whole. I actually want to find out what you think, especially as a family man, right? You've got your wife and 2 kids, right? Normally, if you guys are going to go to the theaters to see Mulan, that's $14 per adult ticket, maybe like, I don't know, 7 for the kids, maybe something less than that. And then popcorn and all that stuff. You guys are easily spending like $50.
No.
No?
More?
Okay.
Maybe no. You know what? So the last movie that I went to go watch in the theater, if I'm not mistaken, it might have, or no, I don't think this was the last movie I saw, but when I went to go see Doctor Strange in theaters, we went to the AMC theater. There was a gentleman, a family man, buying, I think he had 4 kids, or maybe just two or 3 kids, himself and his wife. So let's just go with 5. The tickets alone for him were more than $100.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe it was more than 5. Maybe it was more than 5. Maybe it was 6 people total. But I remember looking at it and I'm like, man, I'm so glad my kids aren't asking to go to the theaters just yet. And if they are, they're gonna go to the one-off theater down on.
Yeah, you guys can watch 5-year-old movies.
Yeah, there's a cinema that does run off, like second run movies. That's where I watched Jurassic World, actually.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they watch like second run movies or whatever. So they're gonna go see a movie there. So it's like, hey, this new movie came out. I was like, how about we watch this movie that came out 4 months ago instead?
Right. So okay, so I was gonna ask. So as a family man, right? 2 kids. Now, obviously, yeah, they're not old enough to necessarily, command full price of the movie theater just yet. But how do you feel about this idea that Disney is now doing, where they're like, okay, we're going to release our premium movies on Disney Plus for $30, and you get to have it for, I think it's like 2 nights or 1 night, and then it's gone. But you're like, oh, $30, that seems like a lot. Well, you and everybody in your house gets to watch it.
Yeah.
And this is a movie you'd be seeing in theaters anyway. So, and you can go buy your own popcorn at Walmart and, or Kroger or whatever store. So my question is, how do you feel about this $30 rental? And do you think going forward past Corona, this is the avenue that you would be going for as a family man, and most people would be going for? So long question, but
yeah, no, but I can make sense of that question. And real quickly, I did notice that AMC is doing 15-cent tickets for a little while. I just found an article that was released August 14th, but I don't know how long that will happen. But if people want to look into that and maybe go to theaters, but I wouldn't recommend it. But I'm not going to the movie theater. But anyways, as far as your question is concerned, in regards to how do I feel about Disney Plus doing this, I'll tell you one thing. As a person who, if I didn't have kids, I would kind of feel a little bit like, so wait, let me get this right. I'm paying $5.99 for this, for your service, but now you're asking me to pay $30 to watch this movie. There's a lot. I don't know if you saw a lot of that on Facebook where people were just bitching about that, and I'm just like, yeah, but you're not having to pay the theater for it, right? I'm like, I don't see how Disney is actually even thinking they're going to recomp all their money from it being, not being in theaters. So I don't think moving forward that it's going to be the norm. I think this is just they're willing to take these losses, but also they're trying to compensate for some of it to basically make the hit not be that big. Because I honestly think, obviously in theaters, Mulan would have most likely ended up hitting the billions, because it's easy for movies to hit billions now,
I agree with that.
Yeah, so they're not going to hit billions in regards to the rentals, right? Because as far as me with my kids, as long as I can, I will try to get them to watch movies at home, because like I said, I don't want to pay $100 to get tickets alone, and then the food, on top of that, it ends up being probably like $150 after you get popcorn for everybody, and salt, chips, and nachos and drinks or whatever. So as far as me, as I think parents are probably happy about this idea. I mean, if you're willing, because I think a lot of people they end up doing is they end up thinking, oh, paying $30 for one movie, when you go to theaters, you're paying $12 for one movie. But not really. If it's me and, if you're a guy and you're taking your girlfriend, or you're a girl taking your boyfriend, and whoever's paying, they're really paying $23, $24 for one movie. Like you said, you're paying $30 for everybody to watch your movie. Hell, you can even call your friends and be like, hey, give me $5 and y'all can come watch Mulan, Mulan right now. I'll rent it or whatever. You know what I mean? So for family members, like people with big families who have younger children who still don't care. Obviously, they wouldn't mind seeing it in the theater, but my kids don't really know about the theater because they haven't been to one. But at the end of the day, they end up being entertained by the movie. So, and then we have a nice size TV, so it's like the experience is a lot better than when we were kids.
Right.
We had to watch it on that
with the big backs.
Yeah, with the big backs and 35, and then So, but long-winded question gets a long-winded answer.
Right.
For me as a family man, honestly, I would enjoy. I'm probably still not gonna rent Mulan because I can just wait for it to come out on actual Disney Plus. But if there's family members who want to make a movie night out of it, I think it ends up being better for them. Because like I said, a lot of people I was just discussing this with somebody who told me that he had like a 65-inch TV that he bought for like $500, but he bought it like 5 years ago and bought it as a second, like a refurbished. Now you can buy a brand new one for that same price. TVs are getting cheaper but they're still big.
I just got the 70-inch Samsung Series 7. So this is 2 series back.
Yeah.
For like 600 something, 650, I think.
And then when that came out originally back
Like
in the day,
2000
exactly.
easily.
So because now they are talking about how they have the what is it the
UHD and the curved screen,
the curved screens and all that stuff.
yeah.
So I don't there's no substituting the experience of watching a movie in the movie theater.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I do want to jump in there. So the single guy's answer to this is that is that unless I have like a bunch of friends who are willing to like schedule their cater their schedule around when I'm ready to watch Mulan, or something like that, and then they're all gonna Venmo me like $6.
Yeah.
The $30 price tag, it's a bit of a deterrent for me.
But that's because, like I said, you're paying $30
right.
for one ticket. Whereas family, if there's 5 of us, I'm paying $30 for all 5 of us to watch the movie. So it's the price difference. That's why I don't think it'll be normal. That's
yeah. But then the other thing too, you mentioned it about there's no substitute for the movie theater experience, right? There is absolutely no way that the first time I watched Avengers Endgame at home. No way. Yeah. Right? Like you lose so much of what made that movie great. Because the movie was great, but watching the movie with other fans, then it took it to another stratosphere.
You know where I watched Infinity Wars?
Where?
IMAX.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not doing that,
and
you're
the
not
Dark
doing
Knight,
it right.
And I watched The Dark Knight there too.
Yeah.
So it's just
Sometimes movies are events, and they can't be restricted to your streaming service. I do want to say though that as far as your comment on how is Disney going to recoup their money, I think they made this calculation because they saw what Trolls World Tour did, right? That movie was supposed to come out, COVID-19 happened, of course, and they made the decision very early. I think is it Universal?
They released it. I think they released it the weekend that it was supposed to be released in theaters.
Yeah, so NBC Universal. So they released it on a bunch of video on demand platforms and recouped the investment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it was. I think the budget was $100 million, and they recouped the investment in a couple of weeks, and made more than the original movie made in theaters over 5 months.
But do you think Disney Plus will be limiting it itself because they're only doing it through a premium service through their streaming service, whereas Universal was doing it through basically any video on demand kind of?
I think that's a really good point, because not everyone has Disney Plus,
and not everybody wants to get Disney Plus.
Exactly. This happened maybe a week after Disney Plus became a thing, then maybe, right? Because at that time there was The Mandalorian. There were people who were like just high off the Disney nostalgia, and they were getting onto it. Since then, since The Mandalorian ended, there's been a lot of people that have left Disney Plus and haven't come back.
So they'll probably come back when the Marvel and the MCU shows start.
The shows, the Bucky and the Winter Soldier. No, sorry. Falcon and Winter Soldier. And a bunch of those. So anyway, all right. I think we've beaten that one. Basically, I wouldn't do it because I'm not about to spend $30 on freaking Mulan. But it makes sense for a bigger family because it's a fraction of what you would pay in the movie theater. Right?
So do you think other theaters, other studios are probably going to pay attention to this in regards to whether they follow suit? Because remember, what was it? The Tenet, that was the new
Chris Nolan movie?
Yeah, that one got pushed back. I don't think they know when that's going to be released.
There's some movies that have to be in a theater, and I think that's why they keep pushing Tenet back. I don't think that's ever going to be straight
I
to.
wish they would release Fast and Furious 99 because it's just like.
Did you mean to say 99?
I did because it's just
Because it's
ridiculous
like
how many they have going on right now.
that
And
many movies.
it's just and why did you show in the so if anybody hasn't seen the previews, guess what? Hans is alive. They show that Hans is alive.
Yeah.
Why did you show that in the preview? I don't get now.
Understand.
I didn't want the movie to begin with, even though I'm gonna watch it because the thing is though, I'm one of those people, and I think a lot of people are like this, like you've watched so many already, you've watched all of them already that you're just like, now I have to watch this one movie because it's just another movie that I just feel like incomplete about now. You know what I mean? So, but they pushed it to 2020. They instantly pushed that one to 2021. Yeah. We haven't. I don't know. Black Widow didn't get pushed to 2021. They got pushed to November, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Now, do you think that before we move on from the subject, do you think theaters are going to come back the way they're trying to come back?
I think
it's another percentage, like the football season continuing. Like, you have a percentage of, you think the percentage chance of them
I think by the time that Disney, Marvel are trying to get Black Widow in front of our screens, which is November, I think theaters will come up with a viable plan, a viable social distancing plan.
Yeah.
Will it work? No, because people don't. People just don't pay attention. But they'll try, and those movies will suffer for it, box office wise, because a lot of people just won't feel confident enough to go see it.
Yeah, and honestly, what they probably should do is just open the theaters a lot earlier. So there's that's the problem that it becomes, is you have only so many showings, and then so many people want to go at the same time. So then a lot of people are going to not be able to go. But then what will probably end up happening is they'll find out that people do want to go, and they'll probably boost the prices up. Like, the theaters are very...
Well, regardless, they're going to have to boost the prices up because they're not going to be able to fill the theaters. So, you know, if you really want to see Black Widow in front of the screen, you're going to have to pay a premium for it.
But we do want to see Black Widow on the screen. That's the problem.
Yeah. So it's tough, man. Like, I just don't see any way they can make that type of Marvel money that they used to make in this age.
One question that I always ask for fun. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine if Endgame was supposed to go this year?
I'd go. I'd go.
But it wouldn't have gone to $2 billion.
It's not even. Oh no, for sure. Yeah. It wouldn't have. But that's not even a question.
I'm pretty sure the Disney executives are like, oh, jeez, we blew we missed something that could have been tragic for us. Yeah. But anyways, all right, so cool. So yeah, that's our end of Mulan. So that was a 26 minute segue into a how long of a conversation? A 20-minute
18
conversation?
minutes.
Okay, all right, cool.